topic for today, how deep is your connection with the one you love? And I'm just going to share this in my group before I get started. I am Shauna White, heartfelt intimacy coach, helping people to unlock heartfelt intimacy in their most important relationships. And let me just share this one moment. Almost there. Okay, almost there, almost there. Thank you for waiting. Okay, here we go. So today's topic, how deep is your connection with the one you love? It's inspired by a post that I ran across, which I then shared to ask people how they feel about it. And the phrase is, when people fall in love with your flowers and not your roots, they don't know what to do when autumn comes. And I was asking people, what does that mean to you? I want to share what it means to me, what it says to me. So, what are roots? When people fall in love with your flowers, but not your roots. Roots to me are your values and your method of how you solve problems, how you come to the challenges of everyday life, and how you go about trying to solve them. And what I think is really interesting, actually, is that is spirituality, by the way. A lot of people think that spirituality or religion is your sort of otherworldly beliefs or your beliefs about the non-tangible. There's all different versions of there's all different versions of spirituality, but a lot of times the knee-jerk response of what people think that is when you say the word spiritual or religious is they think, oh, those are your beliefs. They're important to you. They're valid and you should have them, but that doesn't have anything to do with the real world, right? But the truth is that real, honest to goodness, practical, down-to-earth spirituality is actually about how you solve problems, how you solve the challenges of everyday life. And the spiritual psychology that I have studied and practiced for the last 30 years actually encompasses encompasses the understanding of how people go about solving problems when they don't do it the spiritual way. In other words, do you behave like an animal that believes that the highest power in the realm of living is chance, and that everything that we see here is an order that was created by the laws of chance and survival of the fittest, right? And do you believe that you just have to do the best you can to look out for yourself and look out for the people who are important to you? Or do you feel that would be the unspiritual version of where people sit on the spiritual spectrum. And then as people move on the other side of the spiritual spectrum, they're looking for, how do I embody love? How do I embody the character of love? They believe that the highest power in the universe is not chance. The highest power in the universe is love. And they're trying to find, how do I solve the challenges of everyday life in alignment with love? How do I embody this spiritual presence of love? And that there's people in between, right? Where they aspire to love, but they see it more as an emotional experience. Emotional experience is part of love, but when you really go for the big and deep experience of love, it's beyond our human emotions. but it uplifts our human emotions. So your roots are, in my mind, the way that you approach the challenges of everyday life. And when someone falls in love with your flowers, they're falling in love with the big, beautiful, fun, joyful, this is easy and it makes me feel good part of the experience of being with you. But if they only do that and they don't share the same values and approach to how to solve the challenges that come up in life, then I love the way this quote says, they don't know what to do when your autumn comes. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means they're out of their league if they don't share the same approach to how to solve problems. Then when the problems come up, when the challenges come up and things are less fun, they're going to be like, oh, I don't know how to be connected with you. And it's interesting because some people who responded and shared what their experience was, they felt like they were unseen in the picture that this saying presented. That somebody, hello, I see somebody's here, but I don't see who it is. Okay, hello, Matthew, nice to see you. I hope I said your name right. So in the, I don't remember what I was saying. Hang on a second. So when you, in the picture that this saying is giving us, that when someone falls in love with your flowers but not your roots, they don't know what to do when your autumn comes. It's a case where what I'm feeling in this picture is that this person doesn't have the personal depth themselves to feel how to be in the deep, in the challenges. And so they freak out. They don't know what to do when your autumn comes. It's not that they reject you because you're worthy of being rejected. It's that they're out of their depth. That's what it says to me. And so it's actually a really beautiful phrase that captures the understanding of the situation without blame. That when you're with somebody, when you fall in love with someone who is more shallow in the way that they just process the information on the earth, and they're more interested in feeling good, and they're enchanted with the way being with you makes them feel good, but they don't have the foundation inside themselves. They don't have the deep roots to see your deep roots. They don't have the resources to really actually enjoy the grit and the process and the adventure of going through challenges together. Then they're out of their league. They don't know what to do when your autumn comes. All of us have an autumn. And what I think of when I hear that phrase, the autumn, when your autumn comes, I think of when your freaking bad mood comes, when you're, it's not, not a big deal so much. It's just that we all have moments where we're not fun to be around because we're not enjoying being around ourselves. And it really takes, like, if you and your partner are both have the depth to understand that and to understand how to work through that, then you can enjoy all the seasons of the human experience together. And so that's a beautiful thing. So how do you know if the person that you're in love with has the depth to weather the autumn with you? And I would say pay close attention to how they solve challenges. And there are little challenges that you can see how they okay. I see someone is saying hello from LinkedIn as well. I can't see all the comments coming in because of my tech interface, but I will definitely connect with you after I'm done. So when you're with somebody, their behavior of how they handle challenges is going to show itself in the little things that happen, in little conversations. For instance, I remember one person a man who reached out to me on Facebook, and I was like, hey, hello, I don't know what this is about. Who are you? And this was some years ago, but whatever, it happens now and then. And anyway, he was like, tap, 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 tap. How come you haven't responded to me yet? Like, I didn't respond right away. I let 2 hours go by or whatever. And he was like, he got frustrated. So I already know this guy doesn't have roots. So in the little things that happen in the flow of communication, you can find out, you can get the preview of whether the person that you're with actually has the depth inside themselves of how to handle even the little challenges. It gives you a peek about how they'll handle the deeper challenges. But you have to have clarity and discernment in order to see that. And that comes from cleaning up your own subconscious stuff. It also comes from, well, getting really grounded about relationship and realizing that the question of relationship is much bigger than just feeling good on a date. And if you just really love to be with somebody and you feel really exhilarated about that, that's only like one tiny aspect. That's like 1% of everything you need to know to find out whether this person is really suitable in a relationship. So breathe, calm down, get grounded, get connected to yourself, and get to know this person each day. No anticipation of what's going to happen next. If you can breathe in that way in your relationship experiences, that will leave your mind open to more effectively discerning whether this person actually has really good values and skills for how to handle challenges. So I'm really enjoying everybody saying hello from all different angles here. And I would love to know what is one red flag that you can identify that lets you know that somebody doesn't have the roots to see your roots and to love your roots. I'm just curious if you have that kind of an insight. I'd love to hear it. Okay, that's it for now. Take care. I'll see you soon. I'm going to check the comments in all the different places, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. I love you all, and thanks for being on the ride with me. See you soon.